Did you know that the Bakersfield Californian is available on your Kindle Fire? Or how about Google's Nexus 7? The Nook? You bet. You can also read a full replica of the newspaper on your Android-powered smartphone, on Apple's iPhone, or on your laptop. We have a solution for any device. E-Edition is free for subscribers, or just $7.99 a month. The Bakersfield Californian. We're everywhere and anytime. Subscribe today. Bakersfield.com.
Roadrunner Rundown on Bakersfield.com and the CSUB Roadrunners Digital Network. Live from the Dignity Health Studios in downtown Bakersfield, California.
Welcome in to Roadrunner Rundown, the official program, CSUB Roadrunner Athletics. Corey Costello with you. Thanks so much for joining us once again from the Dignity Health Studios here in downtown Bakersfield, California. Thanks so much for joining us on the program. We got a great show today because we're going to be getting into the home portion of the CSUB Men's Basketball Western Athletic Conference schedule. It opens this week with a pair of home games against New Mexico State and Texas Pan American. We'll be joined by CSUB head men's basketball coach Rod Barnes. Runners coming off a tough loss at Grand Canyon, once again without leading scorer Ali Ahmed, although definitely showed improvement in a lot of other areas. So it should be a good week for the Runners if everything is back healthy and ready to roll on the Thursday and Saturday matchup. So we'll speak with Coach Barnes coming up on the program in the next segment of the show. Also coming up on the program, we're going to speak with Kevin Mays. He was the leading scorer at Grand Canyon, as a matter of fact, scoring a career-high 16 points in that game. And Mays has been the leading rebounder in the Western Athletic Conference pretty much the entire season. He leads in both defensive rebounds, offensive rebounds, and overall rebounds. So we'll speak with him a little bit about his role on the squad. He's one of the newcomers here in 2014-15. So we'll speak with him coming up on the program as well. And also on the show today, Saturday night is the World Series of Fighting 17. The promotion will be fighting at the Planet Hollywood in Las Vegas. And our very own Brian Cobb, a CSUB wrestling alum, along with CSUB volunteer wrestling coach, will be on the card. He's the co-main event, as a matter of fact, on the card as he takes on Johnny Nunez, one of a newcomer who is 5-0 on his young career. And Cobb at 20-8 overall. He will join us on the program as we chat with him about the upcoming promotion. We had him on the show a while ago when he was actually had to cancel a fight because of an injury. He is now rehabbed 100%, ready to go back at it on national TV on Saturday night. So Brian Cobb will join us in the final segment of the program. So a lot of great stuff to get to today and a lot of different areas to cover and a lot of highlights to get to as well, because it was a busy week for the Roadrunners, and we shall start. Women's basketball was at home. They were hosting Grand Canyon on Saturday afternoon, and it was all run, or it was actually tied at 17 early, and then Tana Outland feeds Erica Williams for the layup, and then the floodgates open for CSUB, mostly from three-point range. Shaquita Smith knocks one down here, and then she was 2-2 on the day, by the way. Then Williams from the corner for three more. She had 7 points on the day. Then the Runners start with some effort plays down low. Look at the offensive rebound and put back from Tiana Outland. She had 20 to lead the Roadrunners as the offensive explosion continues. Haley Ford from the corner, but the real hot hand in this one was actually from downtown, belonged to Alyssa Shannon. Here she is on the near side right now. She scored 14 points in the win, 5 3-pointers going down as well as Tana Outland the steal. And how does she do this? The behind-the-back finish for Outland, Runners by 10. CSUB, though, they didn't forget the post either. They're pretty good at that as the Roadrunner is going to work the ball on the outside and then find a way to dump it to Badabe Zampari. Mid-range jumper as then it was London Junius Relaford here, top of the key. She's going to drive and finish for the Roadrunners. Good things just keep happening for CSUB as the ball is saved right here, but right to Alyssa Shannon, who passes it around and then gets one from the perimeter. CSUB up 41-28 at the half. Second half, more Alyssa Shannon, not from three. This time she's going to drive. She's going to pass real quick to Outland. Then she is going to drive and finish. And, well, Shannon just really got the Runners rolling. Then it was Badabe Zampari. Look at that wicked screen there. And then Shannon goes around her, another layup and foul. It's all Runners and all Shannon, as then Erica Williams is going to find Shannon open on the elbow once again. Again, Alyssa Shannon with the three-pointer. You've heard this one before. It is good. More ball movement for the Runners as they get everyone involved. Brooke Hinkins now going to go down low to Brittany Sims for two. then it's just one more time, just for fun. Why not? One more time. Melissa Shannon, near side. Yes, sir. She gets another one. 3 more runners roll, 90-67, opening the Western Athletic Conference with the victory over Grand Canyon. Tana Outland scored 20 points. She is now 50 shy of CSUB's all-time scoring record, currently held by Katie McElry. Outland, most likely, based on averages, should set that record not this week, but next week when the Roadrunners are at home against UMKC and Chicago State. So hopefully that happens at home. But if she scores 50 in the next 2 games, we won't worry about that either, because that'll be very good for the Roadrunners. But needless to say, Outland 50 points away from the all-time record. Upcoming for CSUB, they go on the road. The women's squad will be at New Mexico State on Thursday evening, 7 o'clock Mountain Time, 6 Pacific. That game tips off on the WAC Digital Network, and they'll be at Texas Pan American on Saturday. That is a 2 o'clock start time, Central Time, so noon Pacific. Roadrunners at UTPA as they are 1-0 in Western Athletic Conference play. On to men's basketball, they were opening WAC play in Phoenix on Saturday night at Grand Canyon. And, for the Roadrunners, once again, no Ali Ahmed because of the ankle injury. So how do you get the ball down low? How about just good old-fashioned driving it? Brent Rapp with the drive off the glass. Runners led early 10-5, but Grand Canyon will put together a 9-0 run over the next few minutes. Ryan Marley with one of the 8 first-half three-pointers for the Antelopes, as they would also find 3 offensive rebounds, finding a 3 once again to the corner here. Josh Braun gives the Antelopes the lead once again, but CSUB trailing by as many as 11, makes a comeback in the first half. Cortez Connors with the baseline jumper, then Connors once again following that up with a 17-foot pull-up, and it's a 5-point game. Then Brent Rapp working the ball on the side for the Roadrunners, and we saw him do it earlier. He's going to drive a little bit once again. He's going to find Kevin Mays on the backdoor bounce pass. Mays scored a career-high 16 in the game. After a Grand Canyon free throw make, they had this miss. CSUB trailing by 5. Brent Rapp going down. The first shot doesn't go. Arrington tips in at the buzzer. It counts. Runners pulled in 3 at the half. Second half, though, they couldn't buy one down low with some close ones. The jump hook misses early on. Then Deshaun Richmond goes up. He can't get that to fall as well. Kevin Mays, too strong on that layup. CSUB would have the lead by now if they could make a shot, but they just couldn't do it early on. Grand Canyon gives the Runners a possession back there. And then the 5th attempt in the half for Bakersfield. That, too, will not go. Then it's Grand Canyon taking Grand Canyon's Daniel Alexander, the fadeaway baseline jumper. They build a lead again here with another Alexander layup. Runners down by 11 again. One more run this time. Going to be sparked by Brent Rapp, the layup here. And then Rapp penetrating once again. He's going to go. Glass on the tough angle and the foul. He hits the free throw. It's a 3-point game. Then the redshirt freshman once again, this time going with the left-hand finish to make it a 1-point Grand Canyon lead with about 3.5 minutes to go. Grand Canyon, however, closing it out at home. They would hit their one and only 3-pointer of the half right here on the next possession. Royce Woolridge extends the lead to 4. Then they go on another 9-0 run over the next 2.5 minutes. Runners just couldn't score. Here they try the trap at half court, losing track of Dwayne Russell. He had 24 on the night, including a pair here. Runners time running out. Another miss down low for CSUB. They give Grand Canyon the rebound, and then some missed free throws during that stretch as well. Did not help, so Grand Canyon going to win this one 73-65. Kevin Mays with a career-high 16 points. Once again, no leading scorer Ali Ahmed, although the Runners did some very good things on offense. They shot the ball very well, a lot of aggressive guard play in order to make up for the missing big man down low, but those 2 9-0 runs, once in the first and once in late in the second half, did the Runners in. They fall to 0-1 in conference play as they fall to Grand Canyon. Here's what's coming up for the Roadrunners. Back at home in the friendly confines of the Icardo Center, it'll be New Mexico State coming in Thursday night, 7 o'clock. That game tips off, and then they will also host Texas Pan American on Saturday evening, 7 o'clock at the Icardo Center as well. Tickets available for those games right now at valleytix.com. Moving on for CSUB as the Roadrunners, we talked about last week on the show, swimming and diving. They were in action as well. The Runners, we had Delise Batista on the show last week. Well, guess what? The Runners were in action. A busy week for CSUB. We'll start with last week's home duel against Fresno State and also UNLV on the at the Hillman Aquatic Center. Chris Hansen and his squad trying to get a couple victories there, and maybe Batista should come on Roadrunner Rundown the same day all the time because she swam her fastest time of the year. Here she is in the 1,000. Great lead for Batista. She sort of just kind of runs away with this race against, like I said, both UNLV and Fresno State were involved in the action. So the 1,000, the kick turn here, and she's just going to pretty much Cadillac this one. She gets the win. Early lead for the Roadrunners as Batista with the victory. Then, as normal, all eyes on Mitchell Huxold on the men's team as he's racing in the 1,000 here. And Huxold, he's used to fast times. That's nothing different as Huxold takes the early lead in this one, and once again for Mitchell Huxold, it's pretty much just lap swimming for him as he has a very good day for the Roadrunners as working here in the 1,000, and pretty much as the race were to progress across the lanes, he was pretty much, like the old hotel room on Sunday, pretty much checked out. This guy just sort of cruises to the victory as CSUB going to get another win from their best swimmer. Mitchell Huxold, again, a season best, 9:29.18 during this swim right here in the 1,000. You see the final lap marker right now for Huxold, and this one pretty much he's about half a lane ahead of his nearest competitor. He's already on the way back, and they're just kind of kick turning and coming back to the last lap. So Huxold with the victory, 9:29.18 as he has a season best score. Congrats from the competitors all around. They didn't know they're up against a buzzsaw. Huxold, one of two victories for an injury-depleted men's team. They fell to UNLV 166. Huxold also posted a win at the 500 free. On to Michaela Page, WAC Swimmer of the Week that week, and another good day for the junior Page swimming here in the 500 free. Another good showing. She would actually finish in second place here, and again, in second place in the 200 freestyle. Paula Hernandez actually had the best day on the women's side. Big day, pair of victories to lead the Roadrunners as Michaela Page's 2 second places. They didn't hurt either for CSUB against some very stiff competition as well. No doubt helpful for the Roadrunners because they beat Fresno State 156-143. They fell to UNLV 164-129. Good split for the Roadrunners. Then on Saturday, the women's team, they had another tri-duel going on. They beat Loyola Marymount 158-134 and then fell to UC San Diego 172-128. 2 more wins for Paula Hernandez as well. On the men's side, Mitchell Huxold won 3 events this past Saturday on the road, but the runners fell 160-139 to UC San Diego. So a busy swimming week for the Roadrunners. And coming up this week for CSUB Wrestling, it's going to be busy. They had one match this past weekend, though, against Brown. We go out to the Icardo Center in Saturday night's action. Starting at 141 pounds, Timmy Box in the quick reversal here as he scores valuable points in a match that was very tight over Anthony Finichirio. Then Box, after getting the reversal here, Timmy Box on the stand-up for the Roadrunners as Box, a beautiful job coming up on the sprawl and the takedown for Timmy Box as CSUB is going to score again. And headgear comes off. They'll stop it for the moment. And then one more final takedown for Box. Nice single leg pick for the 4th and final point. He holds on to win 14-5 in a major decision against Anthony Finicario of Brown. Moving on, 165. Adam Fierro wrestling like gold as of late against Laurent Remillard of Brown. Fierro disadvantage early, but this is CSUB Wrestling in a nutshell. Make a mistake like that, leave the leg out, and boom, full reversal for Fierro, who takes the lead in this match. And after that, it's all Fierro as he gets 2 for the takedown here, as beautifully done by Adam Fierro once again. And one more time for Fierro, another takedown as well as he's in control. The match actually stopped early with a 13-8 technical fall in favor of Adam Fierro. A great win for him. And then moving on to 197 pounds, Matt Williams, the freshman, taking on Augustus Marker of Brown. And William off the tie-up grabs the leg. He's not letting go. Look at him. He's not letting go of that left leg. No chance. Finally, he's going to take control using that leg. He gets to the back, and he gets the takedown as Williams. Well done there. And then coming up this one for Matt Williams. Look at this move coming up. Avoids the shot with the sprawl, and then he locks up. Again, he is not letting go. Williams is going to take this tie-up. He's still got a hold of the arm. He's still got a hold of the head. He's going to take this tie-up all the way up, and then watch Williams here. This is a key moment of the match. Look at this power as he's going to push down, pins his opponent's arm, and pins him to the mat as well. The one and only pin for the Roadrunners in the match. That was all they need. Williams is pumped. What a display there at 197. The crowd pumped to the Adcardo Center as well. Getting 16 points with the pin. CSUB wins 24-13 over Brown. Here's head coach Mike Mendoza.
Overall, I think we came out more aggressive than we have been, and guys are improving. We're getting better every week. And right now we're down to the home stretch of the season. We're resting dual meets, and guys need to still sharpen their skills and focus on wrestling their match with their skill set, and it's wrestling their complete match. Yeah, Fiero's on fire right now. He redshirted last year, and he's been waiting to wrestle. Since last year. So from the beginning of the season, he's been ready to go. Obviously, he got sidelined with an injury, and so he was chomping at the bit to get back in, and he's wrestling on fire right now. Matt Williams is just one of those freshmen that you see get better every match. He's learning a lot this year. He wrestles a little bit like a freshman at times, but he's one of those guys that goes out there, gives it his all, and puts himself in good position to where he can get a pin like he did tonight. After this duel tonight, we're getting ready for a Pac-12 competition, going out to wrestle Oregon State, and then next Saturday, and then the following day we've got Grand Canyon and Arizona State. So good tough weekend next week. We'll get tested again and keep on improving.
So the Roadrunners with the 24-13 win over Brown in the wrestling duel, as the Roadrunners then going on the road this weekend. Talk about this. They're going to go to Oregon State. This is going to be live on the Pac-12 Network Saturday at 11 a.m. in Corvallis. They're going to turn around the next day, fly out to Phoenix, where they'll take on Arizona State. They're in Tempe. Then they're going to drive, as soon as that match is over, they're going to drive down the road to Grand Canyon for a non-conference duel starting at 8 o'clock that night. So good luck to the Roadrunner wrestling team. It's going to be a busy Saturday and Sunday for Bakersfield. All right, we got to step away and take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about CSUB men's basketball. The WAC home opener is coming up this Thursday night. Head coach Rod Barnes will join us. Also, bottom of the hour, Kevin Mays joins us as well. Stick around. We'll be back. This is Roadrunner Rundown.
One thing about living in Kern County is all the great schools. And no matter what school you go to, there's still one thing we can all agree on. Kern Schools is the #1 financial institution in all of Kern County.
Take advantage of our auto rates as low as 1.99 APR with no payments up to 90 days.
Kern Schools, the biggest little credit union in town.
Welcome everyone. Nissan of Bakersfield has everything for the perfect car buying experience. Like our beautiful showroom, full of the most popular Nissan models for you to explore. And our fully stocked parts and service department, from everything from genuine Nissan accessories to factory-trained service technicians to keep your car running its best. Plus, our massive inventory of new and pre-owned vehicles means you're guaranteed to find the right one for you. Nissan of Bakersfield is where you should buy your next car.
Kern Business Journal contains news and information from local business leaders and organizations. Topics include agriculture, health and medical, energy, transportation, and more. Visit KernBusinessJournal.com to find out how to subscribe or where to pick up a free copy. To inquire about advertising in the bi-monthly business journal, call 395-7586. Find us online on Facebook and Twitter, as well as on KernBusinessJournal.com.
Save 50 to 90% with the Bakersfield Californians Daily Deal featured on Bakersfield.com. A daily deal is offered each weekday on services from local restaurants, dry cleaners, health and beauty services, retail shops, and local activities for the entire family. The daily deal is 100% local. Find these amazing deals only at dailydeal.bakersfield.com.
falling away, and Richmond knocks it down.
CSUB men's basketball returns home for Western Athletic Conference play, hosting New Mexico State Thursday at the Accardo Center. Tip-off is at 7 and tickets start as low as $5 and are available in advance at valleytix.com.
Got it back, lays it in for two, some way, somehow.
Then Saturday night, the Runners host Pan American at 7 p.m.
Now the games really matter.
Conference play this week at the CSUB Accardo Center. We're all runners. In a fertile valley, a growing university with record enrollment and graduates serving the needs of a thriving community. A tradition of athletic excellence. Now a part of the Western Athletic Conference. CSU Bakersfield.
Welcome back to Roadrunner Rundown. Continuing on the program, still to come on the show, bottom of the hour, Kevin Mace is going to join us, CSUB men's basketball. Also, Brian Cobb will join us, a CSUB volunteer wrestling coach, also MMA fighter with the World Series of Fighting 17, Saturday night at Planet Hollywood in Las Vegas, live on NBC Sports Network. He'll be joining us as well, fighting Johnny Nunez in that co-main event in that card. So we'll speak with him coming up at the end of the program. Joined now by CSUB men's basketball coach Rod Barnes, and it's conference play, so every day is like an MMA fight.
It is.
Coach, welcome back to the show. This is that time of year. I mean, you guys had the first taste of it on Saturday at Grand Canyon. Again, another game without Ali, but you kind of changed the entire sort of offensive focus, and you had a lot of success getting the ball down low, using your guards in order to do it.
Well, we did. I mean, we think that it's very important always, Corey, to try to get the ball inside. I think the game is won more there. I think when you got really good three-point shooters, that's good for you, but it only opens up the inside for you. And I think our guys really have made the adjustment well in this second game that we've been without Ali. First game, I didn't think we handled it very well, didn't have time to prepare, but second game, I thought we did a much better job.
And you had some guys with career highs, Kevin Mays being one of them, Brent Rapp as well. And you know, going back and looking at the highlights, he almost kind of got lost during the game of how many points successfully Brent Rapp scored late in the game as well. I mean, he took a lot of shots, and he's been a guy that lately, especially late in the games, you've had more and more confidence to stay in there, and he's been able to produce.
Well, he's a really good freshman. He's someone that we thought that would have a really good season because he's a guy that continues to make progress each week. And I think he's very comfortable with what we're doing. He's really easy to coach, and he responds well to challenges. And it seems like bigger the game or the tougher the game, the better he is. And I thought down the stretch, we had some guys that had played well, but I think our team is gaining confidence that they can make plays down the stretch, and he's definitely one of those guys that believes in late game situations, and that's why he was out there.
Overall, your thoughts of Grand Canyon? Obviously, I mean, always a tough place to play, and then on the road to start conference play without your leading scorer. 7-point loss, a late run really was what kind of was the difference in that game. I mean, overall, just your thoughts on that first conference match.
Well, I thought, when you're playing all season and play with someone as we played with Ali, and then to have to go away from it this late, this early into the conference season, and this late in the season kind of brings a little toughness with your team as far as making that adjustment. But I thought a conference team that's been picked to the upper half of our conference to go into their place, a hostile place, and to play as well as we did without our best player is definitely encouraging. It doesn't say that they come back to our place, it's an automatic win for us, but I'll take my chances with Ali, with these guys, than being without him. So hopefully we'll get him back soon and we can get him back to the court. But I thought our guys adjusted well to it. And I think, biggest thing, I thought they went into the game being on the road with confidence that they can win the game. And that's huge when your leading scorer and your second leading rebounder is out.
You guys get 2 conference home games this weekend. First, New Mexico State on Thursday, defending WAC tournament champions. You've always played them tough. You've always either be home or on the road. You've always been close with them. Haven't quite been able to get over on them yet. Your thoughts about this matchup on Thursday. And they're going through some injury stuff as well. Right. And obviously always a talented program. But this year, too, they've had some ups and downs.
Well, they have. I mean, that's one of the biggest things for them, I think. early on, to lose their leading scorer and they're probably their best player, they've had time to make that adjustment, but they're still not the same team. We're a different team without Ali. Any team in the country that lose their guy that they really depended on a lot is a little bit different team. So they've had some struggles. They've been up and down, but they're really talented, big on the front line always. Guards are really athletic, and they come with that reputation and that pride that they're, the best team in our league. So they're going to come here with the same thing, like they've always felt like that they're the best team. So that's something we've got to overcome. But I think our guys are prepared. We've been working really hard to get prepared for conference play. And, obviously it's going to be a challenge always with the best team in the league. But, if Grand Canyon is the second or third best team and we play them on the road that well, I'm sure our guys will be confident that coming home that we can play. And I just think some of our guys are just playing better right now, which makes our team just that much better.
Defensively, New Mexico State's always a team that's had good guard play. And defensively, you guys have had a solid team, best defensive team in the conference so far this year. Do you like the matchup you've got as far as guards go defensively in this
Well,
game?
I do. I like our guard play, against theirs. And I think, one of the biggest things that we've got to be concerned about is their size, because unless Ali's back, it's going to be a height advantage, obviously, for them. But, again, I think our guys are, after winning the Cal game, I think our guys go into every game thinking we could win this game. And I don't think it'll be any different come Thursday. But I think our guards match up well with them. But we've got to protect our paint, and we've got to do a great job on the boards, which I didn't think we did a great job the other night of defending on the perimeter. And I thought we were okay on the glass for, the shots that were taken and where they would take them from. So those are two areas that we're really working on this week, defending on the perimeter and obviously blocking out and rebounding, because we think those are the keys to the game.
And a schedule that includes Texas Pan American on Saturday. They come in with one of the best scorers in the league. Struggled mightily last night, got thumped in a non-conference loss. But again, they have a good guard setup, and again, another team that's going to match up with you guys probably more so in the guard area.
Well, they will. I mean, because their guard's a veteran, and they've got Bogan is a kid that can really put the ball on the deck. They got a transfer from Ole Miss that gives them some wing kind of forward size that really helps them. But, again, the guard-oriented league, and that's what we thought all along, that we had an advantage besides with probably New Mexico State, because we feel like, and maybe Seattle, we feel like we got a big guy that you can go inside to on a consistent basis. And now that if your guards just hold their own, you got an advantage. So we feel like that'll be the same way. We feel like our guards have got to be it's going to be a tough match every night out from the guard spot. But if we can hold our own and then our bigs separate themselves, then we put ourselves in a position that on a consistent basis being able to win the game. But we definitely got to defend, and they're a team that's guard-oriented in the way that they play, so we're going to have to do a great job come Saturday night.
This is a league that everyone knew was kind of wide open, but kind of expecting it's a good thing you probably played a lot of close games this year, because I think every conference game is going to be close. For the most part, although the first night of conference play, you saw a couple teams that were expecting to be pretty good just kind of get beat on pretty good. It was really surprising after seeing Saturday's scores.
Well, it was. I mean, I was surprised at some of the, like you said, the deficits, because we go into conference play, and I even think last year you saw a lot of 3-point games, 4-point games, 5-point games, and the night there were just some blowouts, which was kind of a surprise, and we thought that the conference was wide open, but I wasn't anticipating it to be that kind of wide open. I was expecting wide open, meaning each night it was going to be a close, and you didn't know who would win. I didn't think the home court, and the thing that I've told our players, it's important to take care of home court. We get 2 this week. Yeah. If we could take care of home court, because I think this year the league is going to depend a lot on who can take care of their home court. And then if you could get one on the road, I don't think any team won on the road last week. Yeah. And hopefully from Bakersfield's standpoint that happens this week, that no one wins on the road this week. So that means we'll be 2-1.
Yeah, and just interesting, like I said, some of the scores. I mean, our 7-point loss, and UTPA held off Chicago State by 5, and then the other deficits were 18 and 22 or something like that. Right, so exactly. Interesting open to the to the conference. But again, with that in mind and what you kind of had in mind of the non-conference schedule, I mean, just trying to, obviously, even with these close games, there'll be a few close losses, but, how you're keeping the guys focused on, obviously, the end game of getting to the conference tournament and then playing those games in March.
Well, that's one of the things that we talked about yesterday, and I told them that, right now, everyone's tired. Everyone's beat up. The teams championship teams are going to, find a way to get those close wins. And winning, it refreshes your body and your mind, and you're more excited about playing. And, right now we're a team that, we're sitting in a good place. I mean, from the standpoint of, we were playing really well, lost our best player. Hopefully we'll get him back this week at some point. If we get it back this week and get back on the roll, you could just tell by the scores that there's some people still struggling, still trying to find their ways. And, I think we're a little bit closer than some of the teams. And, if we could just get it going, I think, as we move forward, we've got the pieces and, the way to play. Now we've just got to, get everybody healthy, obviously having Ali back. But I like our chances, and I think Thursday night is obviously going to be a tougher night for us from an athletic standpoint and a size standpoint. But I think our guys are up for the challenge. But after that, I think we match up with everyone pretty well. And, and I think it's just the heart and desire of a team that, believes that they can win. And hopefully, we can get a win on Thursday and it kind of prepare us to continue to go forward.
All right, Thursday night against New Mexico State at the Icardo Center, Saturday night against Texas Pan American. Coach, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you on Thursday.
Well, thank you. Looking forward to it.
All right, head men's basketball coach Rod Barnes here on Roadrunner Rundown. Kevin Mays will join us next. We'll talk about the upcoming games as well this weekend, and we're right back. This is Roadrunner Rundown.
One thing about living in Kern County is all the great schools.
BHS, EC, CSUB.
And no matter what school you go to, there's still one thing.
One thing
we can all agree on. Kern Schools is the #1 financial institution in all of Kern County.
Take advantage of our auto rates as low as 1.99 APR with no payments up to 90 days.
Kern Schools, the biggest little credit union in town.
I am not going to ask him about funguses.
Fungi.
Honey, have you called Gunlocks about fixing that toilet upstairs?
I saw a plumbing episode on the Fix It channel. Yeah, I can fix it.
You could try it yourself, or you could just call Gunlax and save your marriage.
Hey, honey, I think I did it.
Gunlax, 327-3052.
That wasn't so bad.
We've never done marketing. It seems to be a little intimidating. You don't know what's available. You think you're going to sell your first child or it's going to be really expensive to do. But Heather really described everything in a way that we knew exactly what we were doing. There was nothing, no questions about it. She was very clear.
I really enjoyed that Heather took her time to get to know us as a family, get to know our business. From anyone that I do meet, I like to get to know them.
We knew exactly what we were getting into, but really the results of it was far more than we ever expected. I think it brought us to the forefront of most people's mind. So they heard our name, and then all of the videos and pictures, the Bakersfield Live, put a face to the name, and they were able to connect that and know what our product was, but also know us as a family.
Because of the Bakersfield Californian and because of Heather, generated so much buzz about our restaurant that we couldn't have done it alone.
It all comes down to this. 14 teams battle their way through the bracket for a chance to punch their ticket to the big dance. Be a part of the madness in Las Vegas, March 11th to 14th. Go all in and witness who goes home a champion at Orleans Arena. The 2015 WAC Men's and Women's Basketball Tournament. Tickets on sale now at OrleansArena.com. The Roadrunner Scholarship Fund creates educational opportunities for over 300 student athletes at CSUB. By becoming a member and donating to the Roadrunner Scholarship Fund, you're not only helping the Roadrunners fund the scholarship needs of our teams, you're investing in the future. The Roadrunner Scholarship Fund isn't just developing student athletes, we're developing tomorrow's leaders from lessons learned during competition. For more information, log on to gorunners.com/donate and become a member of the Roadrunner Scholarship Fund.
Welcome back to Roadrunner Rundown. My thanks to CSUB head coach Rod Barnes for joining us. Still to come on the program, we've got Brian Cobb of the World Series of Fighting. He's also a CSUB alum and a volunteer wrestling coach. We'll chat with him about his upcoming match this Saturday night in Las Vegas as part of World Series of Fighting 17. He's the co-main event, and we'll chat with him about that. But first, we continue talking CSUB men's basketball as the Roadrunners are at home this week in the opening conference play. And joining us now on the show, coming off a career-high 16 points at Grand Canyon, is junior forward Kevin Mays. Kevin, good to see you, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. Well, let's make sure you talk right into that mic, by the way.
Okay.
Real quick, coming off you just played your first conference game in the Western Athletic Conference. Tough one, tough loss, a close game, but obviously you picked up a little bit of the slack with Ali being gone. And just talk about how you guys kind of changed the attack plan on Saturday night.
The whole game plan changed, with Ali being out, our inside presence. But, Coach just drew up a lot of plays, and guys executed what the game plan was. So.
And you're a for the most part, I won't use the term undersized, but I guess undersized in the post. But you've had a successful year. You're leading the conference in rebounding. So what's it like for you being kind of an undersized guy to be banging with a lot of the big guys down low?
It's a lot harder, I tell you that. I wish I was bigger as the other guys, but I just got to work twice as hard as them. But it's just an adjustment. Just got to work harder than the other man.
What's it been like for you, kind of coming into CSUB, out of Odessa College, and what's the transition been like into your role as we kind of see what your role is on the team now? We know you're going to be the rebounding guy, and you're one of the first or second looks down low. So what's it been like adjusting to that role?
It's been a definitely an adjustment, but I just follow the game plan and just do my role, try to make the team as best we.
Well, and the big thing is the rebounding. And I know last year you were fifth in junior college, 151 offensive rebounds. You're leading the conference in offensive rebounds again. Yeah. Do you have, I know Dennis Rodman used to always talk about he had this, total, game plan for getting rebounds. And, do you kind of have, an approach to it, or?
I just have a good feel for the ball and a knack for where it's going to be. It's just the desire that I have to get the ball. The main thing.
Do you kind of watch it off the guy's hands and think, okay, this is going to go here, or just is it one of those, or you just just ball hunt?
If I told you that, I'd be lying. I just once it goes up, I just go to get it.
There you go. Kevin Mays joining us here on Roadrunner Rundown. Runners hosting New Mexico State on Thursday. You came in, and this is this happens a lot when new players come in, and this is your first year in the WAC. This is going to be your first matchup with New Mexico State. We who've been here a long time talk about how big this game is. Fans talk about how big this game is. You're one of the new guys you're just suiting up, and this is just another game. You really haven't had too much of a chance to get into the nuts and bolts of this team, New Mexico State. So how do you approach these conference games, especially when you're going up just another team?
I approach it the same way every game. Of course, it's a lot more excitement knowing that it's New Mexico State and how big everybody's making the game out to be. But, I'm just going to follow the game plan as every game and, try to just do my role.
Yeah, nice. And, so far, like we said, rebounding a big part of that role. And, again, right now, 8 points a game as well, and coming off 16 points at Grand Canyon. And also Saturday, Texas Pan American in town for the Roadrunners. What's it? You're originally a Queens native.
Yes, sir.
So what's it been like, the adjustment to the West Coast?
I've been in Texas. I've been all around. So
yeah.
It's kind of the same, adjusting. So it's the same.
You got a chance to go home for Christmas for a little bit, right? What was that like?
It excited. A lot of people was excited to see me. I had a good time. Got to see my family, relax a little bit.
Nice.
So I enjoyed that.
Nice. And is it? There's a lot. We see a lot of guys now too that are maybe East Coast or whatever. You guys don't get a lot of playing college basketball now with the schedule. You don't get a ton of time really to be home per se.
No. We had one game on the East Coast when we played North Carolina, and
right.
a lot of my family came out to support.
Nice.
So that was good to see them. So I was excited about that.
Yeah, at least you got to see him a little bit as well.
Yeah.
And what's it been like with this team? You guys have had a tough go of it so far. A lot of close losses.
Yeah.
Some close victories as well. That were great. Being at Cal and things like that. So it seems like this team is resilient though. You go out and you sort of see the same thing every night. You're always in basketball games. So what's it been like with this team? Kind of going through the ups and downs this year.
Our record is it doesn't speak for us as a team. Like. It's not another group of guys that I want to battle with. Like the way that every game, no matter win, lose, or draw, we come back every practice and we practice hard, and every game is like we're not giving up. So I love battling with this team.
And what you have if we get into the start of the second quarter here at CSUB as far as academics go, you've got the major stuff figured out yet? What you want to do?
I'm gonna do criminal justice as my major.
Nice. What any ideas after college with career plans, anything like that yet?
No career plans. I just know I look really good in the suit and tie. So.
There you go. Well, that'll work. That's as good as a reason as any to be in criminal justice. I like it. Kevin Mays here on Roadrunner Rundown. CSUB going to be hosting New Mexico State on Thursday, Texas Pan Am on Saturday. Man, thanks for joining us, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
And we'll be expecting obviously more rebounds as the season continues. So
yes, sir.
We'll be counting on it. All right, Kevin Mays here on Roadrunner Rundown. Again, CSUB hosting New Mexico State Thursday, Texas Pan American on Saturday, both game time 7 o'clock at the Icardo Center. We're going to step away and take a break. When we come back, Brian Cobb is going to join us. We're going to be speaking, talk a little MMA on the program. He is 20-8 as a professional, going up against kind of an up-and-comer, a 5-0 Johnny Nunez this weekend on the World Series of Fighting. We'll chat with Brian next. Stick around. This is Roadrunner Rundown.
One thing about living in Kern County is all the great schools.
BHS, EC, CSUB.
And no matter what school you go to, there's still one thing.
One thing
we can all agree on. Kern Schools is the #1 financial institution in all of Kern County.
Take advantage of our auto rates as low as 1.99 APR with no payments up to 90 days.
Kern Schools, the biggest little credit union in town.
Kern Business Journal contains news and information from local business leaders and organizations. Topics include agriculture, health and medical, energy, transportation, and more. Visit KernBusinessJournal.com to find out how to subscribe or where to pick up a free copy. To inquire about advertising in the bi-monthly business journal, call 395-7586. Find us online on Facebook and Twitter, as well as on KernBusinessJournal.com.
Save 50 to 90% with the Bakersfield Californians Daily Deal featured on Bakersfield.com. A daily deal is offered each weekday on services from local restaurants, dry cleaners, health and beauty services, retail shops, and local activities for the entire family. The daily deal is 100% local. Find these amazing deals only at dailydeal.bakersfield.com.
Falling away, and Richmond knocks it down.
CSUB men's basketball returns home for Western Athletic Conference play, hosting New Mexico State Thursday at the Icardo Center. Tip-off is at 7 and tickets start as low as $5 and are available in advance at valleytix.com.
Got it back, lays it in for two, some way, somehow.
Then Saturday night, the Runners host Pan American at 7 p.m.
Now the games really matter.
Conference play this week at the CSUB Icardo Center. We're all runners.
It all comes down to this. 14 teams battle their way through the bracket for a chance to punch their ticket to the big dance. Be a part of the madness in Las Vegas, March 11th to 14th. Go all in and witness who goes home a champion at Orleans Arena. The 2015 WAC Men's and Women's Basketball Tournament. Tickets on sale now at orleansarena.com.
In a fertile valley, a growing university with record enrollment and graduates serving the needs of a thriving community, a tradition of athletic excellence. Now a part of the Western Athletic Conference. CSU Bakersfield.
Welcome back to Roadrunner Rundown. My thanks to Rod Barnes and Kevin Mays from CSUB Men's Basketball. The Roadrunners opening WAC play Thursday night at home against New Mexico State. They'll also host Texas Pan American Saturday night at 7 as well. Both games 7 o'clock at the Icardo Center. Tickets available at valleytix.com. Also happening on Saturday night and happening on NBC Sports Network is World Series of Fighting 7. And joining us once again in studio. Last time you were coming off an injury. This time you're a few days away from a big fight. Brian Cobb, assistant wrestling coach at CSUB, CSUB wrestling alum, and World Series of Fighter competitor. Hey, thanks for joining us, man. How's it going?
It's going pretty good. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it a lot.
What's the this is the final few days. What's it like the final few days before you push to weigh in and the big fight?
It's busy. It's really busy. I got to coordinate. Obviously, I have a wife and a child, so we got to coordinate her work schedule, my leaving so I can get out there on time. I've got a bunch of media stuff I have to do Thursday in Vegas. Weigh-ins are Friday. Make sure anybody that's going out there and needs to contact me about stuff gets that all lined up.
Yeah.
I got to make sure my business is squared away. So add all that into final stuff to keep everything sharp. Good last grappling session, good last wrestling session, good last mitt session, and trying to get my weight down. So
yeah,
it's a grind.
Are you worrisome at all? I mean, I know those last few days you want to get like you said, the last few things in, but you're trying not to work too hard or get hurt. So is it kind of like just being what's it like those last few days in training? I guess
it's a balancing act. If you make one small misstep and you could potentially miss weight.
Yeah.
And for me, I want to get maximum out of each workout with be able to conserve the most energy. So I want to lose the most weight and reserve as much energy so come fight night Saturday, I can just leave it all in the cage and just feel like a monster. But yeah, it's just, staying on task. That's the biggest thing. And I've got great coaches. Fortunately, I'm still in wrestling with Cal State's team and they're getting ready for a big duel against Oregon State and ASU. So those guys are keeping me on my toes in there, and I think that's going to play a huge part for me.
I was going to say that. How much of that is your training? I mean, you're in there almost every day. So how much of being in the CSUB wrestling room is your training for your MMA career?
It's without it, I probably wouldn't even be a fighter. I go in there 5 days a week, sometimes if something comes up, but I couldn't imagine what kind of a fighter I would be if I wasn't doing that. Because even when I'm not training for a fight, I'm not in a camp, I'm still at wrestling practice. I may miss a jiu-jitsu practice or a boxing workout here and there, but I'm still at wrestling practice every day. So it's huge. It's huge.
How much of wrestling is still a part of MMA? Like early on, it was really, really important for a lot of guys, and then the sports evolved. So how much of wrestling is still a part of mixed martial arts?
You look at all the guys at the top, and they all have a wrestling pedigree of some sort, and the way I look at it is, you start out with boxer versus jiu-jitsu guy.
Right.
Wrestler versus boxer. And if you don't have wrestling and you're a good grappler, you can't get the fight to the ground against someone that has just a little bit of good wrestling defense. So it's as integral as being able to throw a good punch, I think.
Yeah, it's like those first few UFCs when it was always the one discipline versus the other discipline, and you always had the boxer, and as soon as the wrestler shot for the legs, the fight was over. I mean, there was nothing they could do, so it just kind of evolved. But yeah, everybody now seems to have several disciplines. Let's talk about your World Series of Fighting 17 co-main event. You're up against Johnny Nunez, who was 5-0, a young professional, and you're 20-8. You've been in the game a while, so what's this the mentality going into this fight?
Yeah, I'm an old dog, and I know that it's hard to think this is going to be my 32nd pro fight. I'm 23-8.
Yeah,
there's somehow, they never lose the losses. They always lose a couple of the wins in there. Yeah, but he was actually a recruit to Cal State Bakersfield for the wrestling program, and he wound up wrestling at Boise State for a little while. I think he lost to one of our starters at Cal State, which bodes well for me in a straight wrestling matchup. But I just think that he's a young, hungry kid, and so I'm going in with the mentality that I'm nobody's stepping stone. My career's not over. I have a lot more to prove. I still have big goals, and I think it's actually better for me to beat someone that's 5-0 than it is for him coming off a guy who lost his last fight because of a knee injury. So, I'm just going in there, and I'm just trying to own the moment.
Nice. And how it's been quite a bit since your last pro fight, right? Because of the injuries and things.
Yeah, I fought about a year and a half ago, and just wrecked my knee in the fight. Tore my MCL, my LCL, my meniscus. Had to do 8 weeks of rehab, knee surgery, another rehab. Then I was supposed to fight in July, and I severed the tendon in my finger and my hand.
Yeah, the wine bottle incident. Yes.
Yeah, I had tons of issues with that, so got that healed up, and finally ready to rock and roll. I'm excited. This has been a long time coming.
I was going to say, I mean, I know the layoff. Every other pro sport, you're usually playing. You have a season and you play, and then it's over. You have a little bit of off season. You're back training again. You know, with professional fighting, it could be it could be months. It could be a year and a half between fights. How hungry do you get in those two? In that long distance, just to punch somebody and get back into action.
I've been chomping at the bit. I really have been chomping at the bit to do this. I absolutely love making money. I really, really enjoy competing.
Yeah.
And since I can't compete in the, with a Cal State singlet on anymore,
right?
And the wrestling open tournaments are few and far between, this is what I really enjoy doing. And it was hard having that time off, especially for my weight.
Yeah.
My weight, got a little heavy, but man, I'll tell you what, I learned a lot in the last year and a half. I've learned how to be smarter about my training, how to take care of my body more. And this, in all reality, in the last 10 years of fighting, this has probably been my best camp.
Wow.
I'm coming in feeling really, really strong. My weight's under control. It's better than where I was hoping it would be right now. Light on my feet, fast. And I just feel like I've got a great gas tank right now, which I always have had, but for some weird reason, everything seems to be falling into place for me. So I'm excited.
Nice. Well, and we talked a little about this last time, but World Series of Fighting, you've been involved with them a little bit. Talk about the competitions. You're going to be in the Planet Hollywood in Las Vegas. Great venue, great city, and national television as well on NBC Sports Network. So I mean, the stage it couldn't be any bigger.
Yeah, it's great to have that kind of notoriety as far as the main event goes with Brian Foster and Jake Shields. People are going to tune in just to see them.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get all that exposure being on the co-main event. I know everyone at my bar is going to be watching. I know I have family all over the country. They're all going to be tuning in. And it's exciting to know you can just go home and turn on your TV and it's there. It's not a pay-per-view event. But, yeah, they're growing. They're growing slow and steady, and they're constantly signing new talent. People may not know who Johnny Nunez is right now, and hopefully they won't after the fight either. They'll just know that I tacked another win on the win column. But they're doing a good job with matchmaking. I was fortunate enough already to fight the current World Series of Fighting lightweight champ in the fight when I hurt my knee. So they're putting quality opponents up there for me, and I'm just going to keep trying to knock them down.
Nice. And we chatted about this a little bit before, but, I mean, you're just kind of – you said the good part about MMA is you can kind of figure out when you want to walk away. But you don't sound like you're, like, thinking this is my last fight. You sound like you have got several more in you.
I have some goals set aside. My wife and I have kind of laid out a map for myself and my career, and I don't like to talk about retiring, and lots of other people say, you talk about retiring, it's time for you to check out. And it's on the horizon. It's definitely on the horizon. It's within sight. I don't plan on doing this into my 40s or even into my late 30s, but we have a very set roadmap in front of us, and we're going to stay the course. And my wife and I have talked about it. We know what I want to accomplish, and we know what it's going to take, and we're both on the same page to get there. So.
Yeah, nice. I was looking the other day. I know years ago when you fought here locally in the Fight for Wrestling deal we had at the Icardo Center to help CSUB wrestling, and I remember Cowboy Cerrone was on that card, and this guy is in some big fights here lately, and jumping right back in after the last UFC.
He's a monster. He's absolutely a monster. He's won 6 in a row. He takes a fight on 2.5 weeks' notice against a guy he's already fought to and lost twice.
Yeah.
I a lot of respect for, he is your quintessential fighter. I'm a fighter. I'll fight anybody. He means it. And it'll be exciting. I think the third time around, I think it's going to be a lot different than the WEC days. They both developed. And made so many improvements and adjustments to their game. It's going to be an exciting fight.
And you're like, I was on a fight card with that guy.
Yeah, I almost fought him a few years back.
Really?
Yeah, in the WEC, they called me, give me a fight on short notice before his name had really blown up. And then a buddy of mine, Danny Castillo, wound up fighting him. And I think Cowboy won.
Yeah.
But Danny and he are both huge stars in the UFC now, and
yeah, nice.
I'm chipping away.
Well, and there's you got plenty of time to prepare for this fight. I mean, it wasn't a short fight, so you had a lot of time to prepare, and obviously, you get a chance to scout your opponent a little bit, but obviously a lot different than when someone calls you up and says, "Hey, I got to fight in 3 weeks," and someone backed out. So you got a chance to really prepare for this one.
Yeah, I've known about this for about 8 weeks. I wasn't able to really put too much out media-wise until I think 3.5 weeks ago. But I've known about it. We've been training for it. We've been doing our scouting report and everything like that. So I think wrestling pedigree, I'm better than him. He's a little bit predictable with his striking. So little head movement, use my length, keep him at bay, and yeah, it's been a good 8 weeks. I've been excited to really put a whole camp together. If something happens and I can piggyback another fight on the back of this camp, I would love to do it if I'm healthy and something comes up. But it's been nice to have a long camp, get back into the groove of things, feel like I haven't really missed a beat, and hopefully go punch someone in the face.
I was gonna say, you sound like you're like you feel like you're back in your element now. We had you on in December, you were hurt or whatever, or last summer I guess, and like I said, you were hurt coming off that injury, but now it seems like you're back in your element, you're ready to go.
Yeah, it's nice. It's honestly very relaxing to be back in the groove of everything. I mean, we looked at it the other day, and I've been fighting 10 years. That's a long time to really realize you've done anything.
Sure.
You know, college only took me 8. So,
Dr. Cobb.
You know, it's one of those things where it's just nice to finally be back and feeling like I've put in all this work. I've gotten a bad injury-plagued 2014 behind me.
Yeah.
Let's set off 2015 the right way, and healthy, optimistic, and excited. So.
All right. Well, good luck on Saturday night and World Series of Fighting 17, and in your post-fight victory interview, give us some love, would you?
Absolutely.
All right, Brian Cobb here on Roadrunner Rundown, and once again, World Series of Fighting 17 Saturday night at Planet Hollywood in Las Vegas, available as well 6 o'clock Pacific time on NBC Sports Network, and Brian is the co-main event on that fight card. Join us next week on the program, folks. It'll be another busy week of basketball home action, as the Roadrunner women's team will be in action, so we'll have plenty of previews for their 2 home games next week. Tana Outland closing in on the women's basketball scoring record. We'll be chatting with her on the program as well, and of course all the highlights from around CSUB basketball, wrestling, and everybody in action this upcoming weekend. We'll have that on next week's program as well. Get the show anytime online at GoRunners.com/rundown. You can get archive editions of the program. Follow us on Facebook, Facebook.com/CSUB Roadrunners, on Twitter and Instagram at CSUB Athletics. We will see you next week, folks. Thanks for joining us. This has been Roadrunner Rundown.